Welcome back to the channel, guys. Axe here, Ed from Kansas City. Yeah, we're at the Emperor here, guys. That happened yesterday and ended very, very early for me this morning, which is today is October the 17th, and it is approximately like almost 2 a.m. So it ended about 10 hours ago, something like that, and now we have KVK going on. So here is the rally, guys. Here's the rallies. I do have this video sped up for you guys so you can check it out. We got Oleg the best, pilot team captain EKO account there, as you can see, and it is definitely a beautiful account, and it was good partnering and just working with these guys. It gives me a chance to get some of the points and maybe earn, as time goes on, some of the jewels that I could possibly use, some jewels from, you know, Emperor or Baron, stuff like that. Now, there was a thing, I think Oleg did make some mention that Captain's account was hacked, guys, and I don't know how that happened, but I know at one point when we were at one point towards the end, where there's about two, or maybe it was about, I think it was about 2.5 hours left, guys, and his account got hacked, or either Captain, the owner of the account, logged back in and they decided not to push for Captain to win the Emperor piece. I don't know, guys. That's more that esoteric, secret, you know, collab type of stuff going on. So I don't necessarily know what happened. So it's a big conspiracy. It's a big thing. And it happens on everybody's side. It's these guys pick who they're going to push and who they're going to try to get these pieces to, these Emperor pieces to, which accounts that keep going over and over again. I hear this Emperor account that Captain has is an old OCBR account. It's an older account, so I don't know. I don't know all that. I don't know all the depths and the history of these mega, you know, monstrous accounts, these expensive large mobile accounts that constantly are being exchanged, you know, and given to other players. But it was great to be there. I like being there. You know, it gives me a chance to just participate in it. Now the video is very long, guys. I got it sped up ×2. It's a 3-hour video, and so that means speeding it up will be about 1.5 hours, so you guys can kind of watch the rallies as they transpire. Definitely, I should have turned off the tracking, or the what they call the walks. That way you can just see the Emperor, the actual wonder and things like that. Everything is much clearer, but I did not do that, actually, because I didn't know that that little option was available. I kept seeing it in my screen, but I didn't know it was available. So yeah, I mean, a lot of troops lost. I think I mean, you can look at the beginning of the video. You can see how many of this many troops I had. I had to multiple times train or craft T5 troops, but that's the beauty of it. Wasn't filling as fast a lot of times. It wasn't filling as fast as a lot of times as it should have. But you know, hey, I'm just a filler in it. So I got this fast. I'm gonna get some music playing in the background so you guys can listen to it. I'm not gonna probably sit here and try to commentate for 1.5 hours on a war that I don't really understand. I don't really get all of the phalanxes and all of the counters. What I think, guys, is happening in these Emperor wars, and I guess Baron and the Chidance War, all these different Super Wonder Wars, for Paladin and Baron and all of these things. I think these wars, I think players just know to send in certain troop comps that have a better success rate. I'm more so I like to record these and be a part of these. So hopefully I can gain an ideal of what they're sending, the comps they're sending, the familiars they're sending, the troop types they're sending, the heroes they're sending, and hopefully I can learn from that and kind of mimic that and get a better understanding of wonder strategy and wonder warring. That's the purpose of me. That's the purpose of me showing these videos or recording these videos, and at the same time, um, trying to show you guys the battle reports in the video so that I can actually see the actual phalanxes that people use and the comps that they use, and look at those battle reports and see what beats what counters what, and basically try to help myself out. Now we do know KVK has about um, KVK probably has about probably 12 hours left, guys. It's currently like almost 2 p.m. here where I'm at in Kansas City, USA. So Baron has about, KVK. The Wonder War the KVK has about 12 hours left, guys, because it ends at about 2 to 2:30, something around there, a.m. in the morning, which I'm definitely normally sleep at that time, or sometimes I can take a nap and then get up at that time. But it's definitely not my time where I'm up just running around. I do get up for work a couple hours after that though. So just a second, guys. Got some business to take care of. So, yeah, so I just kind of let this go, and I'll get the, and I definitely been working. I'll get this music in the background going so you guys can actually hear there's some context here. Does Woody still play this game, guys? I mentioned his name earlier on accident, but does he still play? So many major players they're gone from playing Lord's Mobile, man. And I don't know. I know Woody was playing about a year ago, but I don't know if he is still playing or not, guys. So let's see here. So much has changed in this game, as we all know. I personally have been budgeting, not really spending. I almost got caught up yesterday in overspending. I did some spending yesterday, but then I came to my senses this morning, today, or before I went to sleep. I came to my senses and decided not to do any additional purchases. You know, they got the coupons out right now. You get 20% coupons. And I want to give a shout out to Dan. Thank you, Dan, for making me aware of that new castle skin. I did not see that in that event. And so I was able to look and see that new castle skin that they have out, which I noticed has been out for a couple of days, but I just did not pay attention to it. And it's important to get those type of castle skins for the price that they are in the event for, rather than waiting for the castle skin collab or pop-up castle skin thing to come out where you're paying way more. You're paying about $50 a castle skin in there, whereas this one was only about, I guess, maybe 10-20 bucks tops. So thanks for that. All right. Just a second, guys. Money here, guys. Trying to make some money. Gotta make money. All right. So what I'm looking at now, I'm looking for something to play in the background, so you guys don't have to listen to my air conditioner unit running and stuff like that. So let me see what we got here. I like this song here, guys. I like this song, so I like playing it. So I'm gonna play. I will definitely turn it down. So I felt that was I think I don't know what was happening in the game, guys, because I kept clicking on stuff and I kept clicking on castles and features, and sometimes it didn't make any sense. In this particular emperor, the players are pushing for someone to receive a hymn, champion hymn, which I'll display in this video. As you guys can see, I will do it. I think it's toward the end, but I will do it. But they get to get a hymn or the mythic astrolites that they can temper the champion, the royal gear with. There you can see how many T5 I have, guys, and I'm definitely gonna need to make a lot more, guys. I probably made about, I think I made altogether, I think I made in this particular, at this particular round, I think I made probably, I want to say over 1 million, probably 1.3 million T5, and I probably lost altogether. I probably lost every bit of all of that, you know. I probably lost every bit of what I've made. And there's a point in here where I had some troops in my sanctuary, and I accidentally let them escape. I don't know how that happened, but everything was kind of funky a little bit. I think one of the things was my phone I've been on my phone all day. That particular phone I'm using right there, I think I've been on it all day, and I think it was just kind of hot or just needed to be restarted because it kind of maybe lagged, or either was a server. I'm not sure, guys. Not sure about that. So, all right. So I have been studying some comps and stuff like that. I did want to. I'm learning. I'm learning some understanding of some stuff all week. You know, since that last video, I've been kind of studying a lot of comps and trying to get that figured out. But I need to do something right quick. So I'm gonna leave you guys to this, and you guys can do all of that. While I'm gone, I'll give you guys something else to listen to. Gotta take some pictures. Facebook Marketplace type stuff. How you guys been doing, man? Thanks for coming back to the channel. Thanks for the support, guys. I really appreciate that. Hope you guys will start hitting the like button, drop a comment or something. I don't know. I guess it's all important. It's all important. Alright, so I'm going to just go ahead and go to this video here.
God.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to do something right quick. I just hang tight.
Show you guys what's going down here, what happened. It ain't all bad. It ain't all bad, guys. Somebody did come in and save the day. You guys will see that. We did take the one good battle. We took the fourth, we took the day. We had some competition. We thought it was not going to be a war. We were in the middle of about to rally somebody. So, listen, guys, listen. Shout out to my dude, Dexter and all. He came to the guild last night. He hit me up a few days ago, last week or something. He said he's going to come over and help us out in the Wonder War. And he stuck to his word. I appreciate that. I apologize, my dude. I let you down. I failed you. I was not at my best. But nonetheless, we were able to get some action here. So guys, check out now. Listen to what you got on the show. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thanks for watching again. You gotta understand this, guys. I took a late break of work so that I could participate in the Wild War. And all the ports closed. Break time was over. And I was still trying to participate in us rallying somewhere. And then it turned out that the guild came, SSC, they actually came and started to continue and compete, which was always good. So we got some action. So many advantages, guys. Here I am, I'm setting up now. But I'm setting up, guys, based on Dexter and Tay, kind of setting up, kind of letting them pilot from the bottom. So I'm doing that now. Dexter actually came over to the field last night and kind of went over a couple of phalanxes and, you know, troop comps and types and things like that. But it was already too late in the evening. It was time for me to get ready to go to bed. And so we really didn't get to really get everything organized as we had intended and planned to. But the good part about it is we were able to get some action, but not everyone was able to get some action. So I feel pretty bad that I feel really good. And I wish I hadn't felt that bad. But it's uncomfortable. I'm just not game, but the only thing is, if I had, if I was still self-employed, if I still owned my business, um, like I used to a couple of years ago, then I would have all the free time in the world. Now, when I started playing Lost Mobile, I still owned my own business, and I had a lot of time to play Lost Mobile, and I probably would have had a lot invested spend in the game as well. But when my business toppled, my business broke down for a lot of reasons. Spending on this game was one of them, or that was the main reason. But nonetheless, I began to work other jobs, supervising and managing and working at other warehouses. I work at a warehouse now. So I don't have time to really, I don't have the luxury to sit back and analyze and study the game because I'm working full time, and then I still have some of my business that I do as a hobby on the side that I have to come home to work as well. So what I'm basically saying, I have a lot of free time. So here we go, guys. It's just gonna be some real big blunders that I just really just I was very disappointed with me, guys, in my performance. That's definitely what I was. I was very disappointed. You know, with this game, I'm sure you guys can understand it. So I wish I really could have put into practice what everybody was tutoring me and advising me to do, but I didn't. It's just so much going on. One of the things is, guys, as you notice, there's just so much chatting going on. So you have a lot of chats that's going on in the guild chat that on several pages I lost track of time reading chats, reading messages, and not focused on the war, the rally. So that's what I should have been. I should have been focused on the war, but I was really anxious and um,
All
just
right, guys.
had a
It's hard to find certain songs, guys, to that don't have restrictions. You know what I'm saying? That don't have all this restriction. And then just this volume, song down. It's my large mobile notification, guys. Unfortunately, I play Lost Mobile on that device, so I'm not gonna be able to get to it right now. That's why I sit so big, so I don't have to worry about whatever's going on. So I can turn this down some. That's better, right? It's better than that, right? That's loud. I think that's the better level right there. You know, it's one thing about playing um, in the Emperor Wars, the fillers, like different fillers from all over Lord's Mobile, migrate to the domain, the Kingdom 71, where this war is taking place. You know, so many of them have the pass, or they spend 100,000 gems, and we come to this Emperor War to just be there or to join a guild or look to join a guild just to participate in the event. And some people come there with their own guild, not to win, but just to kind of like participate. But one thing I've noticed is it's the fillers that take the most of the damage, and those, as you can see, those battle reports there in the Kingdom News was um, just so many. It's ridiculous, insane. But let me stick to my topic that I was on. People like myself, we come and we feel these rallies, whereas when we come to field these rallies and we don't even know the players, we don't get recognition because we're not affiliated or we're not part of the family or we're not, you know, technically part of the family. Like the guild I'm in right now, they'll let you in if somebody kind of knows you. If somebody knows you, they'll let you in. So I am somewhat known, but not most. Some of them are not familiar with me altogether. You know, and who knows? You may not be known at all, and some people will still let you in the guild to participate in these rallies, like this Emperor War here, which was all T5, no T4. Multiple players got kicked out of the guild because they kept using their presets, I guess, and sending their marches, their rallies. They're filling the rallies with T4 and repeat over and over again, telling them not to do that. Don't send T4. Caused them to be kicked out the guild, which I knew off automatically. I knew not to send T4 because I've done this a few times. And then, as you guys know, me particularly, I kind of like I'm used to just sending T5 anyway, which is a bad habit of mine. But us fillers, we get no recognition in wars like this. We really don't, and we don't necessarily do it for the recognition, as far as some type of shout out to us for helping. But I will say this is that like the guild leaders and some of the R4s in the guild that I was in this rally, at least they do communicate with you as far as responding to your chat texts. But it's enough acknowledgement for me, to be honest, guys. It's enough acknowledgement for me just for them to get my message and to open the door and let me in. So that's always plus. So thanks, guys, for that. Because I've had times where, a year ago or so, where they would even think to let me in. But and now I can get access into it. I don't know how many guilds will let me in to participate in so many different events like this, these Wonder Wars, but it's all good. So, like I said, we spent a lot of troops. Like I said, I lost over well over a million T5 guys. That was no problem. I lost over a million T5, and we don't get any praise for that. I mean we're not hired to do that. We just come at our own expense. And the one thing I did love about the guild that I'm in, a wonderful thing that they did was they instantly sent, and you'll see in the video, they instantly sent to the members who joined to the guild, they sent the commands for resources. So the guys had plenty of resources to go around as far as whether people needed food or wood, stone, whatever they needed for their sacrifices of their troops. And one of the problems that they were having also is where players were failing to speed their own troops in the march. And one player made a mention that, hey, I'm constantly finding myself speeding everybody's troops, and so I lended a hand in that. So I helped out speeding people's troops and things like that. There you can see right now, this is my first round of training T5, guys, and I'm going to train probably about 400 plus, right around here, about 4 or 5. I think I did it twice, and both times I did about 5 to 600 T5 training. I am going to run out of Lunite, and I'm going to run out of speeds. And if you guys are pay to play, you can always, and it's in the video, you guys will see if you do need certain resources, speeds, chaos cores, if you need Lunite or Lunite speeds, if you're pay to play, every dollar or whatever you spend on the game, each player gets a level such as gold or platinum membership in IGG's market thing or whatever they call it. But if you need, chaos cores and Lunite speeds, things like that, you can go into that called the diamond market, or it's the membership packs. You can go into the membership packs, look at your membership points, and you can use those membership points to purchase or to exchange those points in the membership thing for Lunite. I'm going to do that in this video, as you guys are going to see. I'm going to show it in the video if you guys are not aware of it. That is a good way. That is a good way of getting back. Uh, IGG is giving back. That's another way of IGG giving back rebate or something to players who spend, so we don't necessarily have to buy certain resources because they're available to us in the membership market, membership pack area. And like I said, I'm going to show it in the video. It is in the video. You guys will be able to see where you can actually use your membership points to get Lunite, exchange it for Lunite, exchange it for speeds or chaos cores. That's what I use it for. I don't really use it for anything else. I used to use it for things like rest, things like that, because even though the guild, I'm one of those players, I don't use my guild for resources. I'll either buy them from a resource seller, or I'll buy the packs in Lord's Mobile, which I like to buy the packs too because those keep in the bag. I keep those resources in the bag rather than having to have them out of the bag and keeping a upkeep boost on with your gear, my gear, to hold those resources such as food. It's funny too. Why does IG make food disappear so quick? It's just, I guess, just a money thing. They make food disappear, but other resources do not evaporate like that. It doesn't make sense, man. It don't make sense at all. So anyway, maybe because food goes bad. I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, let me get to this here. Let me get you there. But all right, so that's that, guys. No sale. Anyway, so very lengthy thing there. One of the things, as I was saying, it seems to me that these rally leads, which is, you know, Oleg in this time, it seems like these rally leads are just sending the best comps possible. Like in this one, they use a lot of 910, 901. They use some 1271. I think they use some, I guess, 569 or something like that a few times. I mean, just different things to seeing in a war such as the Emperor War, which Emperor Wars, Baron Wars, these type of wars here that are so fast paced. They're not like your typical your normal Wonder War in your kingdom where people have time to scout and see which comp is in there, what troops are in there. You really don't necessarily know what you're hitting in these particular wars, such as the Emperor. You don't know what's hitting you. And then there were so many players who sent solos in here. And it made me wonder because some of them sent solos with their leaders, and I'm guessing either the players returned the leaders, or I'm not sure if your leader is capped in Emperor War in this type of wonder. Does your emperor, does your leader automatically return to you, or is it capped? I'm not sure about this because, you know, in other things like Dragon Arena and things like Chaos Arena, your leader is held for only 5 minutes. Whereas in Emperor War like this, where all the kills count, they're real kills. I mean, it's all real time basically. It's all normal war generated, stimulated. I mean, it's all basically war. So it just made me wonder, with so many people doing solo hits in this particular rally, I guess maybe that's for them to get points for their person they're pushing, or just points in general. I'm not sure, but those sending their leaders in there, I just wondered about that. Another thing it did, it kind of like made the notifications worse, because once a rally lead would go in there, it would occupy the wonder. Next you know, you got 4 more hits on him that are not even actual hits, they're just solo attacks. And it's like, it just makes the information in the report harder to find. So I don't know if that's by design or what they're doing with that. I don't know why that happens. It's also difficult to kind of like see who's in the base, because as I said, my phone wasn't really doing all that great, and I think it was the lag also of the game as well. It's 2 o'clock and I need to make myself useful, so I got an hour to got an hour while I'm waiting. I can see if I can get some stuff, probably list it or something, like, you know, do some work, because I gotta get this video out, but it ain't really it's not really my plans today on this Sunday, August the 2017, to kind of waste my time just sitting here for an hour or something. I already had to do all of this once, so then you gotta do it again when you make videos. These guys got some hell of gear, man. It's like crazy, insane. And even though some of these guys spend so much money on their accounts, they can still nonetheless only do so much with them. crazy though. But stats are getting really ridiculous. They are really getting up there. Um, People are already in the 1700% attack stats, 1800. Um, but you know, I don't think anybody's 1900% attack. You know, when you add their actual army attack with their attacks, yeah, you're easily in the 2000s. But I don't think anybody is really hitting that much harder. Now, don't get me wrong, because there is attack stats such as your astrolites. I mean your artifacts. You got your artifact stats. You have your army attack stats. Then you have stats from castle skins and things like that. So it, I put a video out on why IGG hides all of those stats. A person should be able to see what he's hitting with at that particular attack in real time instead of waiting or just guessing or something. I mean, you shouldn't have to do that. This is $1 billion gaming industry. I mean, man, it just don't make sense. That's IGG taking the lazy way. All right, so what am I looking for here? Like I said, I'm glad I decided against those 20% coupons. I was going to spend a lot more, which I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did not, because I need to start saving money and not wasting it on this game. Man, it's really a stressor. So, and I'm reaching a point where, like I said, I'm really just studying to learn now. I really got a good comprehension of phalanxes. One of the things that was giving me a mental block and making it difficult for me to understand comps and phalanxes and things like that was because the IGG simulator, I learned that that's wrong because I kept trying to apply what I know based off that. But now I understand that the war actually happens on the front line and then the retargeting after that. So every phalanx that I send or that people send with the troop comp, that's going to determine what the battle's at, what's actually being attacked in the battle. So I'm learning that. I'm watching some Crystal Brief videos and whoever else has them. One thing I've learned is that a lot of people do not make videos on comps and Wonder War rallies and strategies and all of that stuff. A lot of the great players have not recently made any of those videos. A lot of videos are like 2 years and older. So you don't really have a lot of current videos on setting up battalions and setting up comps and which comps to use, because 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 years ago you only really had people using blast rallies, and you didn't have, you know, you may have had 055 and 550, but a lot of people were not using 424 and 442 and 992 and 569 and 208s and 857s and 759s and all these different. It's so many different things now. So people are trying to basically. What I'm learning is, I'm learning now. I'm learning a lot basically, but I'm learning the point that what it really is what it actually is looking at what you're up against for the most part if you're attacking, and just kind of setting your comp based off that. Like if somebody is sitting in a, say, 4-2-4, then I can set something like a, if somebody's in a 4-2-4, I can set something like a 4-4-2, or I can set something like a 208, and understand that which phalanxes I'm going to be in, I'm going to be using, whether it's a range phalanx or something like that. So that's one of the things I'm really kind of paying more attention to and trying to learn is which phalanx to use. And a lot of you guys are always saying don't use the wedges in Wonder Wars or Wonder Rallies, but wedges have their place too. Just gotta know when to use them. So I'm learning. I'm working on learning that stuff, guys. Is what I'm currently doing now, and it takes a lot of time. A lot of time that I actually do not want to invest in this game. A lot of extra time because I don't have a lot of time, with working and coming home and working, and then, you know, doing the responsible thing of family time. It's like Lord's Mobile is very costly, and not just financially. It's costly, such as family time and things like that. It's a costly game. All right. Seems like the music got lower. But see, my phone is right next to my monitor, so that sound is close to my monitor, and I don't know what level it is compared to my voice, or in association with my voice. One of the things I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to be doing is that, like I said, it's good to join. It's good to join these Emperor Wars and stuff like that, and be a filler, get a chance to get some kills. I don't know how many kills I got all together out of that. I don't know. I have to see. But I probably got 5 million kills. I don't know, guys. That's what I'm guessing. I'd have to look at the beginning to the end and see how many kills I actually got out of that. Good way to get the kills up. So like I said, what I'm probably gonna be doing here in some point. I'm probably going to join another guild for about a month, maybe 2 months, depending on how long they stay in the kingdom they're in, and learn some war strategies and have an opportunity to lead some rallies with a full rally march. Just kind of work on my skills. So that's what I'm gonna think I'm gonna do. And it may not take that long. It may take just a few weeks, but it could take longer. Guys, it's not easy to learn war strategy. So I want to learn some war strategy and wonder strategies from some really great players. Especially now that I have at least now a comprehension of troop composition and phalanxes I have a better understanding now since I've been studying this week. And I know Taze is one of the guys. He's been telling me, and I've been watching Crystal Briefs for quite a few years, but it was so technical and so uh, bland in a sense. It just was not anything really interesting to watch the way he did it. But also, it was also part of my level of understanding of what he was talking about. So, but there's not a lot of people making videos like that, man. People are really not. I mean, you see so many people who make videos from. A lot of people will make comparisons using camps, attacking camps, trying to match players of equal strength. They've been doing that since Shorty Doo-Wop. I mean, they've been doing that forever. But people actually doing like Crystal Briefs does, you know, nowadays, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. People who are doing it now, they're hardly there. And from looking at so many of the comments that people are making in these, you know, instructional Lost Mobile, Wonder War, and Comp, and Phalanx, and familiar videos that people are training, people want that information. Another thing, you know, that I've learned, guys, that I've noticed a lot of the players who talk about what to use, what phalanxes to use, what comps to use, what heroes to send, and what mirrors to use. A lot of these players are not rally leaders. And they never have been rally leaders. They just have some knowledge. And I know it is a big difference in actually doing the rally yourself and applying the knowledge you know from someone who is not a rally lead and who does not do rallies in competitive competition. It's a big difference. It's a big difference from someone who's actually in an actual Wonder War, going for a fort or a war or a wonder. It's a big difference from doing the wars there from just coaching from the sideline. That's a big difference. And I'm not talking about even Chaos Arena and Dragon Arena where you actually don't lose trips. There's really absolutely nothing to gain or lose in Dragon Arena and Chaos Arena. There's difference from, it's altogether different from actual war wonder and KVK and Emperor and Baron. Is way different. Those real rallies are actual wars because you actually lose troops. You actually lose troops. You actually can lose your leader. You actually may not get a battle report. You actually may not get a win because maybe your count's not strong enough. So I know there's a lot of people who have a lot of information, and they have a lot of um, a lot of knowledge, book knowledge as we would call it, but they don't have a lot of experience, practical knowledge that they've done from experience. So I'm gonna keep studying, and I think like I said, one of the things I'm gonna do is one of the things that's gonna have to help me is being in a guild that has a time where the players are online at about the same hours. Like I said, the guild I'm in now, it's a hell of a great guild. Really is a great guild. But it just it it stopped working, but it does fit my work schedule. Meaning I work a lot and I can't always be online when a rally happens. And a lot of the members in my guild, they work too. So we're ordinary people working and supporting our own accounts and building our own accounts with our hard-earned money. And so we don't have the luxury of being online everyone at the same time or around about the same time. So we try to set times for like Chaos Arena and Dragon Arena, particularly mainly Dragon Arena, where most players agree that that's the time that they can join the rally and participate in that event. But even that, as you see in the last video, that didn't work out too great. So, like I said, the guild I'm in, lay back. They respect me. I respect them. They're gaming friends with me, and I'm a friend to them. We help each other. We, in any way we can. None of us are perfect, and that's a beautiful thing. So we all are patient with each other, and we we tolerate each other. And like I said, the game, our work schedule that we have, everybody's real life situations, the guild that we in really does fit it. I mean, it really does fit it, man, to be honest. A lot of our players, they're just not in a position. I'm one of them. We're not in a position to just be on Lord's mobile 18 hours a day, every day. We're not people that can be on Lord's mobile 12 hours a day, every day. So that's one of the things I love about the guild. Not just the people, they're great people, they're wonderful people. And it's not easy to build and create and make a guild where everybody is in the same time zone and all of that stuff. Those are guilds that's been around for a long time, and they're more likely warring guilds or whatever. But I need to, basically what I want to do is, like I said, I really need to get out and get in a guild where I can actually not just field rallies, but the rally will be filled, and get some actually training. Get somebody I can shadow and somebody I can, every day I can at least at some point during the week, one of, if not every day, then at least 3 or 4 or 5 times a week, I can ask them questions and I can participate in the rallies, and I can get an understanding of what they're doing and why they're doing it and which comps to use and which phalanxes to use, and just get a more in-depth training of what to do in Lord's Mobile. And I can't get that. We're in the guild. I mean, I can't get that because our players are not always online enough to actually be effective. And then we got a lot of players too who don't want to lose troops anyway. They don't want to lose troops anyway. And I'm not saying anybody really should want to lose troops that are not rich. But because yeah, it's not easy to rebuild all those troops. Heck, just in this Emperor War right here, I lost a ton of T5, and I mean I use thousands of Lunite speeds, as you guys saw in the video, which I did show and I'm going to show again. It's amazing, man. Like I said, I'm showing a lot of this so I can kind of see not only the phalanxes that were used, but the troop comp that was used, the familiars that was used, the kind of troops that the leaders, the rally leads sent on both sides, and what the fillers sent. That's why I'm kind of like scrolling through so many times of the battle reports. And there you see Oleg right there, who is piloting Captain KEL's account. Yeah, there you see he asked to be sped up. He wanted the march to be sped up. Like 620 million kills. I can't wait to get to that 700 million kills. I think once I get to 700 million kills, or 8, I think I got a decent amount of kills then. I actually should have made a 12-7-1 instead of having to keep manually do that. But the thing about it is, guys, there you can see all the speeds that I got left. And yeah, I've already ran through over half of those already that I had, and I'm left with that, so it's a lot. It's my baby coming in here. So yeah. Snack, guys. What you doing, man? You don't do it? I'm sorry.
This has been sitting for a while.
Somebody tried about my coffee. Coffee machine here today. They wanted lower price too, though. I said, this thing called 800 something in the store. I had it listed already down 200 and lower.
It's all the kind of messages I've been getting. Every message I've got today, somebody trying to get something. I'm not joking. I'm all, and I'm all about making it easy, but then there's a point where you answer to somebody. Seems okay. Is this really cool? Is this hard? It's me. I'm gonna let this thing down. You know, it's really good. You know how it is. The more I do this, the higher it goes up. So. That plate is probably the kind that I thought it was, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
What's that?
That plate. I thought it was gonna be fairly easy to find.
It's unique, huh?
Keeps pulling up, it's made in Israel, so I understand why it's sent, but it keeps pulling up all these. Showing that this is Israel England from, but that's not what it is, so. Let's put this stuff out of the living room, so.
Alright. Oh, no, babe. Ooh, babe. Door right there. Door. Some ice cream, chips. What else I had to get? Ice cream, chips, chocolate milk. That's the membership pack there, guys, you can get. You put in your membership points. See, they telling guys don't send T4. All about the T5s, baby. And there I am training troops again for the drafting troops, T5 troops again for the third time. I think this time I did 700 some, so I at least 1.3, yeah, maybe 1.1 million and a half T5. I gotta check my food because I'm using all so much resources, so I gotta look at what I got. I'm gonna turn the music up a little more, guys, because we got some background noise. I'm gonna turn the music up. Coupons and 1+1 out, guys. That's a recipe for disaster financially. I'm gonna turn it down a little more, guys. It's a little bit loud. That was pretty loud, wasn't it? I will play other songs, guys, but they might have copyright or something. There are some of the gifts, guys. Some of the chests I can get. I'll have to look and see which one of those I already started with. I remember one time, guys, I got the champion mythic stuff. I'm like, man, I'll never have a champion piece. Why am I getting that? One of those instances where you're just doing stuff. They did have the terror seed in the Liberath. I spent 2 million holy stars on that. And I got about 4 of the terror seeds to gold. I initially had 5+ million holy stars, but I'd already spent some before everybody was letting me aware that, okay, you can wait till the terror seed comes out to use those. So I'm glad I hadn't used them all. statements there that look stupid. Well, doesn't seem like I'm gonna make any money today. Doesn't seem like I'm making any money today.
So I did just about earn it myself.
I want to discount some things on eBay. But I actually need to go and out of the things like I listed, I actually need to go and see what is actually available. You know? I mean, I'm sure I got what's listed, but you know, once you reduce that price and it start popping off the shelf, then you might have one or two overlisted that you don't actually have. Or actually need to go down there and see what I actually have left. Especially some things are full sets, and some things are just the main component, you know, the main unit. So I need to do that. So what do you guys think? You think it's worth the money and the time that these guys spend for Emperor War? I guess it is, right? Because once these guys max out their accounts, the only thing left is waiting on new IGG updates or trying to win an Emperor piece. You know, it really sucks that the guy's account was hacked into at the end of this video. I noticed something at the end of the video where, like I said, all of a sudden we just stopped doing rallies. So I don't know if that's when the account got hacked into or what. And Oleg was saying that, in Oleg's video, he was saying that Captain had only 2 people knew his login information. That Captain EK2 or EKO, only 2 people knew his login information to his account. And they don't know who hacked into his account. That's like my account, and that's what I was showing you guys. That's what they're fighting for right there. They can have the Noble Hymn. It gives an attack stat of 40%. Or the Monarch Astrolite. Only one other person has my account information. And that was a friend of mine who lives in my hometown, who lives here with me. That's the only person I've ever given my account information to. He is totally free to play. And a couple of years ago, it's about almost 3 years ago now, over 2.5 years ago, in like April of 2020 or February of 2020, I gave him my account. Shout out to my dude Daniel. I gave him my Lords Mobile account when I quit Lords Mobile in February of 2020. I let Lords Mobile go. By then, I had already spent well over 20,000 on the game. I really didn't have any gear. I only had a couple of paid heroes, or a few of them, but they didn't make any strategic sense. And I had a lot of troops. So, because he was free to play, he didn't really understand the game. So I returned to Lords Mobile in December of 2022. So 2.5 years I quit Lords Mobile. And I came back, and when I took the account back over, it had been sitting as a zeroed account. I just happened to log in because I still had the login information, of course. Nothing was changed. So I would log into my alt account, which is only like 30, 40 million might. My alt account is just something I use, you know. I think I made it when I had my own guild way back in 2016, 2017, and I used it as, you know, something to have in the guild. But I will log into that account, and sometimes it would log me into this account. So after 2.5 years, when I had a situation occur, a lot was going on in my life. You know, we just bought a house, brand new house. We just expanded our business, me and Carmen, and we were doing everything in our power to kind of like really build the business and keep the momentum going and things like that. And then something happened, and it led to me, I ended up playing Lords Mobile again because of the stress and stuff. But I logged into the account and it was zeroed, guys. It had 1 million gems that he had saved up over time. Of course, I probably left him with 200K or 100K or something. And so I logged back into the Lords Mobile account, and I remembered I made a video of it, and I was like, somebody hadn't been playing in a while. Account was zeroed. It probably had about 400K troops, and so at that point, given my situation, you know, like I said, I just started playing Lords Mobile again, and I just started immediately reinvested in it, getting troops. First thing I did was build it back up with the troops, and then you can see me letting the players know, because someone needed some Moonlight for T5 when I was like, somebody wanted them to gift them some Lunite. You can't gift Lunite in this game. When people know how they can get it. Um, but when I started playing back again 2.5 years ago, I first thing I did was rebuild in December I rebuilt my troops. I started playing heavy, started playing quite a bit. Um, I had the type of job around that time that, well, I was still self-employed, but I played a lot. I had a lot of time to play. So I started building the account, and they had new things out like T5, or maybe they had T5 right before I quit. I don't know. But they had familiars, and familiars without, and I didn't really understand them. I wasn't really returning to large bowl to actually do all that. I was just kind of like to stand out maybe. So I joined the fruit guilds and started understanding that I'm gonna need certain heroes and certain familiars and gear to actually have some power when I attack. And of course that led to where we are today with me having so many things. And since then we've had updates of T5 mana troops, we've had updates of Astrolites, and of course I've worked on everything. That's another reason why I can't join any kind of warring guild, because a lot of them migrate a lot. And as you guys know, with me being so big, it's hard to migrate. I mean, it's not impossible, but it is costly. Right now I got probably about 160 migration scrolls. And if I use my guild coins, I probably can have every bit of 200 migration scrolls, which is enough to migrate 3 different times. So I can migrate quite a few times, depending on which kingdom I go to. If I go to a kingdom where I only need 30 or 40 migration scrolls, I can migrate 4 or 5 times. And if I go to kingdoms where we just use relocator to migrate, I can pretty much migrate all the time. But migrating to certain guilds makes it hard for me, because I've done that before, even when I was only 3 or 4 billion might. And if I didn't have the migration scrolls, they would migrate and I'd be stuck behind, and they would ask me to kill off my troops. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna kill my troops on my own. I'm not gonna dismiss them. It don't make sense. There you can see the Royal Cavalry Jewel that I have. I only need a couple of more epics to get epic, to get a gold one, I mean. If I saw that correctly. But I'm not gonna self-zero my troops just for the sake of migrating. And I did go through being attacked a month ago. That was fun. I actually had no intentions on rebuilding those troops like that. I did not actually. And like I said, the only real thing that stopped me was missing a troop type. I wouldn't mind being real low might and maybe be a rally trap, which was one of the things I wanted to do, be a rally trap. Use the account like that because I have fantastic gear, I have fantastic stats. I mean, I don't have the Titan, maxed out account stats, but I got really great stats, So I really could have been a really very nice rally trap, a beautiful rally trap. and that is still a possibility. But I didn't do it then, just because uh, I didn't want them to win. And like I said, when it had got to the point where, uh, when it got to the point, so this video is pretty much it, guys. There you have it. That was great. That was lengthy. No sense in holding you guys up any longer. But I will go to the. We'll go here, and here you see we got KVK about to pop off here. We still got a total of 10 hours left, guys. And I don't think I have any. Let's see here, guys. What do I have left? If I have anything left, I still got 47, so I can get a couple. I don't even have enough to get any more of those. I got them all. So those are the Royal Calvary jewels that you can get, and there you can see who won right there. To King changed his name. We can see the battle statistics. And like I said, Captain, he stopped after a while. Not sure if he could have gotten. It's very close, as you guys can see. That's an extremely close war that they did. But from what I heard is that Oleg said that Captain KLO just wanted to go ahead and stop, and they would work on preparing for the next major war. But that was extremely close, guys. It hasn't been that close in a minute, so that was a lot of pay to play there. Very close. Good stuff. And it's like, is it really worth all of the financing and everything that these guys go through to get that extra champ stuff? And sad part, you can't even see this guy here. Can't even see who this guy is, but it was 2 King TK T4